Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to our 8:30 performance on our opening night of our interactive improvised murder mystery. My name is Jeffrey Arndt. I'm the Director of Theater and Fine Arts Chairperson at St. Patrick High School. At St. Pat's, we recognize that we attend school and we create art on the ancestral lands of the Kickapoo, the Sioux, the Miami, the Peoria, and the Potawatomi. We thank them for caring for the land since time immemorial. I want to give a special shout out to all of those members of the audience who attended our preview performance last week. And if you are one of the superstar audiences who was also a member of our 7 p.m. performance, believe me, we still have a lot of tricks up our sleeves, and we are very excited to entice you yet again. For all of our new audience members, we cannot wait to show you what we've got. The students have been working since the end of last semester to devise and develop characters, and then picking apart storylines to try to create something new just for you. Last announcement I want to make before the show begins. We did unfortunately have a cast member who fell ill today. So we are only going to have one detective who will be interviewing our suspects. He is going to need your help. So he will explain in a moment that you can use your chat function during the interviews. And during that time, you can ask questions of the suspects, just like our detective is doing. And if our detective doesn't get to your question, then hopefully the suspects will be able to answer your questions back in the chat. You're also going to be receiving some polls throughout the night so we can see whether or not you trust the suspects. And then at the end, you're going to get a chance to vote for who you think the murderer is. Without any further ado, I would like to welcome on Detective Bosch. And Detective Bosch is going to be here to help solve this murder. So take it away, Detective.
Thank you, Mr. Arndt. Good evening, fellow detectives. We welcome you to a virtual murder mystery. Tonight, we will need your help to solve our most recent case, the murder at Huntington Manor. My name is Detective Bosch, and I will be laying out the facts about this case. 6 suspects await questioning, and we know that at least one of them is guilty. We will interview each of our 6 suspects to find out why they might have done it and how. You can help with that by typing into the chat questions that you would like us to ask each suspect. You will get the chance to tell us in a poll how trustworthy you find each of our suspects. And after the interviews have completed, we will review the facts and evidence we found. Then you will get to vote for who you think the murderer or murderers may have been. Without any further ado, we will begin. Mr. Huntington was the owner of Huntington's casinos and resorts. He could often be found playing golf and going to auctions with a good eye for antiques. He was also involved in local politics, helping support candidates through his many years of civil service. However, today marks exactly 1 week after Mr. Huntington was found dead in his lavish kitchen. The autopsy shows that he was bludgeoned over the head and then strangled to death. At the scene of the crime was found a small statuette, apparently ripped from either off his wall or off of his wardrobe within the kitchen. And by the back door was a key to his house, left just next to the door. Now, we will introduce each suspect and ask them a few questions. Please type in the chat any questions you may want to add. And with that being said, if we can please bring on our first suspect, Mr. Rex Huntington.
Hey, detective, what do you need?
Well, we're just going over a few quick questions about your brother's death. First off, can you please explain to us what exactly was your relationship like with your brother?
Well, I mean, on again, off again. We were, best buddies as children because obviously, we were in the same household. But after that, we just kind of didn't talk to each other for a while until the the opera house situation.
Do you mind please elaborating on that? What all exactly happened with this opera house you're talking about?
Well, basically, there's this opera house in and around the town that we grew up in, and it was my passion, my love. That is just the only thing that brought warmth to my heart, my cold, drunken heart. It was just so magical watching all these performers do what they do best and perform. I mean, it was just amazing. You had to be there to see it.
I see. And now, did you happen to have any connections with this opera house?
Oh yeah, I was on the opera board, as you would say. It was more of a volunteer thing that I was doing. I wasn't getting paid, but I didn't care. It was for the thing I loved the best. You know.
Hmm. I see. And now, what exactly all is going on with this opera house? Do you mind elaborating a little bit more with what your brother exactly wanted to do with it?
Yeah, basically he wanted to, take it down, sell it, something like that. And some piece of something he was gonna build a factory on it. I forget his name though. Steele, that guy. That's the that son of a bitch. I feel
I
like he and
see.
my brother, they're working together on this. I don't. But man, I definitely feel like it's more my brother's doing. I mean, Steele just he's going for land he can get, land he finds, or whatever. My brother, he just he took away my favorite pastime. That I will never forgive anyone for that. But hey, he's dead, so I mean, am I mad? Absolutely not. He took away something from me. Someone took away something from him. Yeah, I could have even taken away from him.
I see. Would you happen to know anyone in particular that would want to kill Mr. Huntington for the opera house or other reasons?
I don't know. There was one of the performers. I think her name was what was Amber, like Amberland or something like that. She seemed kind of upset that the opera house she was performing at. A wonderful performer, by the way. If you ever get a chance to meet her, you should thank her for doing a good job. But she seemed kind of upset about the whole situation that she's going to lose her job. She was not happy. Was she as upset as me? Maybe, but I don't know.
Mhm. Um, and now your brother was found dead after this party that he had for his birthday. Um, do you mind? Were you at the party by chance?
Oh yeah, it was. It was. It's not a good party. Aside from the fact that he died, I may have gotten a little out of hand with my anger. I may have thrown a couple things at him. I think we might have hit him in a spot that wasn't or that a spot that was vital. I don't know. I was kind of just throwing random stuff everywhere. It was all going in my mind.
I see. And now I do understand that you were a little intoxicated at the time, but could
Oh
you
well, I
elaborate on
mean, a
why
little
exactly you
is
were?
an understatement, if I'm
I
being
see.
honest.
Well, one of our detectives at home has a question. Was there any reason at the party that you were angry at him for, or was it just about the opera house earlier?
Well, I mean, yeah, the opera house situation. This is the first time I've seen him in what 30, 35 years. So I had to, I just had to get on to him. It was at the moment situation. I was mad about the opera house, just throwing wine bottles at him and
Hmm.
get him back.
I see. And now, did you happen to notice? Was there anything else odd or weird about what happened at the party? Did you happen to see anyone, or that was a little suspicious?
I don't know. I mean, I was really drunk at the time, so I didn't see much. But I don't know. Some people were like trying to, seduce my brother. I mean, it might have been, just something really weird. I have no idea, but that would
I
be
see.
my guess.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much. I believe that's all the time we have for you right now, but we'll get back to you just in case. Thank you.
Yep.
Um, And now our detectives at home, we have a poll that just came up. You can go ahead and see exactly how trustworthy you find Mr. Rex here. Being the fact that he drinks doesn't exactly help, and he does say he was throwing things, but in all honesty, yes, his brother did take away the opera house, but I don't know if that'd quite enough drive him to kill his brother. I guess we'll only find out soon enough. And our poll is wrapping up right now, and here are the results. And our detectives at home are quite split. Trustworthy, untrustworthy, and very untrustworthy, all kind of right down the middle. I guess we'll find out soon enough exactly how trustworthy he is. In any case, let's move on to our next suspect, please, Mr. Robert Huntington.
Hello, detective. My name is Robert Huntington, son of the deceased.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, how exactly was your relationship with your father?
We were very close. We did most business relations together and worked together a lot.
I see. And now you were helping out your brother with, or sorry, your father with this business here. What part of the business exactly were you helping him out with?
I worked mainly in the hotels portion of it. My brother actually worked with the casinos, and we kind of tried to do our best to work together with that.
Mm-hmm. I see. And now you and your brother, did you and Marco always get along?
We were always semi-close. Until he got into the business, we weren't very close. We talked every once in a while, but we just didn't have that much in common. But once he did get into the business, yeah, we grew together. We were kind of still separated. My father favored me, and my mother favored him. But other than that,
I see. And now, did you now in the will that your father left you, he kind of split it right down the middle with his fortune between you and Marco. Were you by chance a little frustrated that you didn't get more out of that? It seems being the favorite child and all, maybe throw you a little more than just the hotels.
honestly, yes, I was expecting to get more than Marco. He always seemed to be aiming his funds to me. But I mean, a little disappointed, but not extremely upset. We both got an equal share.
Mm, I understand. And now, when you were at the party on that Saturday, um, did everything go okay? Was anything suspicious? Did anyone seem a little off by chance?
Not that I can recall. It seemed Miss Amberlyn Jones and my mother were together a lot. Me and Marco were together. My uncle Rex, I don't even know where he was. Gone, apparently, mentally. But other than that, no, I don't think anything was amiss.
I see. And then I guess kind of our final question for you here. Would you happen to know anyone who would want to kill your father over something he did?
In all honesty, detective, anyone could have wanted to kill my father. He was a very unlikable man, but the more I think about it, the less I think that someone would have wanted to kill him. It's just strange to me.
I see. Um, well, in that case, Mr. Robert Huntington, I believe that's all the questions that I have for you today, unless any of our detectives have any last minute questions. And I believe that's going to be it for you right now. So thank you very much for your time, but those will be all the questions we're asking you right now.
Thank you, detective.
All right, our detectives at home, what do we think about this Robert Huntington? I do believe he has something up his sleeve. I don't believe he's quite as happy or content as he says he is with only getting the hotels. I mean, he was the favorite child after all, but I guess we're just going to have to see how him and Marco play out together. And our poll should be wrapping up in just a second. And here are results. And I do agree. He does seem fairly trustworthy overall, but it is going to be interesting to see within the next couple suspects what exactly all gets revealed. In any case, can we please bring in our next suspect, Mr. Marco Huntington?
Hey, listen, just tell my team to run the casino for a bit. If he messes up, I'm gonna bust his kneecap. Simple as that, all right? All right, now I'm gonna meet with the detective, so I'll call you later, all right? Okay. Evening, detective.
Hey, Mr. Marco guy over here. Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, how you
All right.
doing, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I am doing all right here. I hate to do this, but this is just business here. Nothing personal. Gotta ask you a couple questions. Is that all right?
It's all right, man. Business is business, you know?
Alrighty. Now I gotta admit, you and your brother here, you got a little split out of the will. The casinos are worth a little bit more money than the hotels. You think that's any thoughts about that?
Trust me, I was as surprised as you are. Me and my father, we kind of split the casino when he was alive. And I'm pretty sure he always told me, hey, you're going to get this casino. I kind of already assumed that. But then again, with Robert being the favorite, it was kind of shaky if I was going to end up keeping the place or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you mean, And can I ask you, what exactly were your plans for this big casino going on here,
Yeah, that's a great question. I love your question, by the way. So me and Robert, we started talking. Was telling them, ways to make money, right? Because, businessmen got to do what businessmen do. And he mentioned that he had plans for a hotel. And I told him, said, hey, if we take the casino, if we take the hotel, we combine them, we make more money than the hotel or the casino alone. So we were making money moves here. And then just recently, my father was selling a plot of land. I'm not sure where. And I told him, hey, that's the perfect opportunity right there. You take that land, you convince them to give you the land, build the hotel, casino, we got it. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm. I get what you mean. Now that plot of land you're referring to, is that the one with the old opera house on it?
The opera house. Was that the land that was being sold?
Well, I'm assuming so. I don't know of any other properties going up in the area. Oh. Were you aware of your father's plan for the whole opera house going on?
I was not aware of this at all. I mean, my mother loved the opera. She owned it. This is just a shock to me.
Do you think your mother would have sold it, or did your father try and buy her out?
My mother would never sell it. Me and my mother, we were close. I was way closer to him than I was closer to him, And, for this just be dropped on me like that, I'm not liking the situation.
Mm-hmm. No, I get what you mean, man. Ain't nothing personal over here. I'm just trying to explore all possibilities. Were you at that party over there on Saturday?
Ooh, the party was nice. I gave a toast to the old man. And this was after me finding out about the will, so I was being extra nice, Mm-hmm. You got nice to the man giving you stuff. It's as simple as that.
I get what you mean. So now when you're at this party here, right? You notice anything going on, little suspicious,
Now suspicious, a little bit here and there. Uncle Rex, that man was gone. Gone. I work at a casino. I've seen people spend their money and from being drunk. This man was on a whole nother level of gone. I'm kind of surprised he didn't black out. He was gone. Mm-hmm. Any other suspicion? I mean, me and my brother, we were pretty close throughout the night. We were talking about this whole deal with the hotel and the casino. My mother, I did notice she was a bit heartbroken. I'm not too sure why until you just told me right now. Thank you for the information, by the way. But yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary from what I see.
Mm-hmm. I see. And they, do you mind telling me really quick here? At the crime scene of your father, I'm very sorry for your loss, by the way. we found this key by the back door. Does your father keep a key by the back door, or would it take somebody who had the key to get in?
Key to the back door. Just a random key just laying there, or was it like a key to the back door?
To our knowledge, it was a key to the back door.
Well, I wouldn't really know about no key being there. Key is usually in the front, right underneath the pot. Hey, don't tell anyone I told you that, all right? That's secret.
Mm-hmm. All right. And the question from our big detective guy at home here, Mr. Fagan. Did your father happen to do anything to you that might have led you to kill him? I know
What?
business is business here. I don't mean to incriminate you or nothing, but anything going on?
That's a great question. Me and my father, we didn't really get along, like I mentioned. But anything for me to drive to kill him, maybe there was some instances in the business part of the casino. We had our differences here and there. There was some instances of some dirty money. That's just in the past, though. But other than that, for me to kill him, now that's a whole nother level. He would have to push my gears to a whole nother level for me to kill him.
Mm-hmm. I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? To be honest, Marco, I like you. You're a good guy. So I think that's all the questions I got for you right now.
All right.
We get on out of here.
All right. Hey, you take care.
Hey, you take care. All right, buddy. Alrighty. Now, our detectives at home, what exactly were we thinking about this Marco character? To my knowledge, he's the younger son out of the two, and gotta be honest, as much as I like him, he might have a motive to kill his father. You're right, he did get more in the casinos. However, playing favorites with his older brother all his life can really get to somebody. So I think we're gonna really have to pay close attention to both the brothers here, both Robert and Marco. And our poll results are back over here, and fairly trustworthy, but a few of us do have little grievances with him here. I guess we'll only see what happens next. Can we please bring in our next suspect, Miss Anastasia Huntington?
Hello, detective.
Hello, Miss Huntington. Just a few questions regarding you and your now deceased husband. I'm sorry for your loss.
Hi.
Now, can you please explain to us, did you two have a healthy marriage? Was everything okay at home?
Well, I'd say it was perfectly healthy. I mean, you can ask you can trust my word for it that it was a very healthy marriage.
Mm-hmm. I see. And now, what did your younger son Marco? He told us that you owned the opera house that Mr. Huntington has been looking to demolish. What are your exact thoughts on that? Did you have a part to play in that? Were you aware of what was happening?
Well, I became aware of it on the Saturday of our anniversary, of course, when Mr. Steele, the mayor, of course, he came in during breakfast. It was a large family breakfast, and announced that he had decided that he would purchase the plot of land that my husband had set up for sale. And that was the plot of land that my opera house was on. And it was heartbreaking to hear, but I've moved past that since I would hardly say that it was the worst thing to ever happen to me.
I see. Now, was there any reason why he'd want to sell this? Was the opera house not doing too well? Was there something between you and him?
Well, the opera house it's always been doing fine. It was truly going up. We had just had a new rising star, I suppose you could say, my dear friend Amberlyn Jones. She was doing fantastic lately and had just hit one of her biggest roles in her lifetime. And truly, I thought it was on the up and up from there. So it was quite a surprise when he told me he decided to sell the opera house and demolish it. But you know him, he has his reasons for everything.
Mm-hmm. I understand. And now after he told you that he was gonna sell the opera house, did you still end up going to his party later that night?
Well, yes, I did. First, of course, I went shopping with Amberlyn Jones to, well, get our minds off of some things. We, went to our favorite little hobby shop nearby and checked out a few costume stores that were in the area and just had a nice long discussion about the entire affair. And then, of course, I went to his party afterwards. Well, because I was expected to go, and I go to all of his parties as he is my dear husband.
Hmm. I see. And now, we actually have a question from one of our detectives at home. Um, they're actually wondering a little bit of a personal question, so I hope you don't mind. But what was the worst thing that's happened to you that you're referred to in your previous statement?
I'd rather not discuss that, detective. I think that is a highly personal matter.
Hmm. I understand. Um, so now, back to the party. Um, we're told by a few people at the party that you and Mr. Huntington kind of pulled off to the side for a little bit and had a little private meeting of sorts. Can you please tell us exactly what all happened there and why?
Well, I was talking to him about the entire affair of the opera house during the party, and I decided that we needed more of a private setting to discuss it as we were gaining quite some attention from everyone nearby, and we simply went back to the bedroom to discuss it.
I see. And was anyone else with you, with Mr. Huntington during that little meeting?
Well, of course, I brought my closest friend, Amberlyn, because he, well, when he decided to sell the opera house in such a brash move, I suppose I didn't know if I could trust him around me anymore. I didn't know what his intentions were about anything. Oh, excuse me, miss? What do you want? Uh, uh, Go back to the kitchen. Okay,
Is
so,
everything okay?
oh, yes, everything is wonderful. Thank you.
Hmm. I see. And now I believe our one of our last questions here from our detectives at home. Um, oh, sorry, two questions. Number one was, what was your favorite quality about your husband? And then another one was, when exactly did you find your husband's body? I know those are two very different questions. Sorry to ask them at the same time.
Well, my favorite quality about my husband, that's a tough one, of course. I mean, there's so much I could say about him. It's hard to pick one specific reason. So
Mm,
I would say perhaps his passion for business. That might be it. But we never really got along on that front. It would be more like admiring from afar. I like men with passion, of course.
mhm.
And did I find his body, you ask? Well, I didn't find it. My maid, Elise, reported it to me, and it was truly tragic. It was awful. I, wow. I cannot believe it. She told me how mangled and distorted and bruised it looked, and just thinking of my husband that way, it's very heartbreaking.
Hmm. I see. Is there anything else that we should know about Miss Huntington?
Well, even though she is my dearest friend, I think you might want to look a little closer into Amberlyn, as she had some anger during this whole affair, and it surely rivaled my own. I think she has some information that would be relevant to your case, detective.
I see. Well, in that case, thank you for your time, Miss Huntington. But those will be all the questions we're asking you right now.
Thank you, detective.
Alrighty. Well, quite the red flag. She didn't seem all that upset over her husband's death. I mean, she said she was upset at the time, but I mean, I don't even think too many people are that well at processing emotions. Certainly not myself. In any case, I guess we're really going to find out, detectives at home, how trustworthy do we think she is? Um, you know, oh, and our poll just came back, and very untrustworthy and untrustworthy. I definitely agree. It seems just a little weird that she doesn't feel too heartbroken over her husband. In any case, can we please bring in our next suspect, Miss Amberlyn Jones?
Hello, detective.
Good morning, Miss Jones. Now, can I please explain to you what exactly was your relationship with Mr. Huntington?
Oh, like Mr. Huntington. So originally I was gonna like be an actress. And so I was talking to Mr. like Huntington about it, but then I met his wife, Anastasia, and she like discovered my talent for opera. So that family in general just like is starting to get me famous and where I like need to be in life, you know?
Mm-hmm. I understand. And so now, with the opera house supposedly being shut down and with a factory being built there, did you find that as a threat to your career, or were you okay to move back to the movie industry?
I was like really upset. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry. Like I worked so hard for so many years and like this is about to be like my big break and like make me like super famous. And then all of a sudden he shuts it down and just like it hurt. It really bothered me.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Please take a minute if you need to.
I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. Just 1 moment.
Absolutely. That's quite the fancy bottle of wine there, Miss Jones.
It cost me a couple grand. Yeah, like it's yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, another quick question here. When you well, first of all, did you go to the party on that Saturday with Miss Huntington?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like we do everything together. We had gone shopping earlier that day too.
Mm-hmm. I see. And now, did you happen to see anyone else during the party? Did anyone seem a little off or suspicious?
I feel like I should just be honest with you. Anastasia just like was not giving me the right vibes, you know? Like her and Huntington like went off to have a discussion, but like I didn't trust him alone. Like I know
Mhm.
they had been fighting like a lot recently. Like earlier that day when we were shopping, she told me like about this fight they like had on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And like, I don't know, I just didn't want them to be alone together. So I followed after them. But like Anastasia was like so angry, it like wasn't even funny.
Oh my goodness, really? Was she like that
Yes,
upset?
yes. She was like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill him. But I was like, you're gonna kill him? Or like, are you gonna kill him? Like,
Mhm.
I couldn't tell what kind of kill him it was, like, you know?
No, girl, I totally understand. I mean, people these days in the sayings, it's so weird. Um, hmm. Now, sorry. Another question. After you and Miss Huntington talked with Mr. Huntington, where exactly did you go? Did you stay at the party? Did you leave? Did you?
Well, like I stayed at the party a little bit more, but like not too long. And then like me and Anastasia left because like I don't know if I like ate something or like drank something, but like I just wasn't feeling well. So we left a little early.
Mm-hmm. I understand. And now, did you happen to see anyone else on your way out, or see anything going on that was just a little weird, maybe?
Anastasia just like wasn't acting right. Like I wasn't with Huntington and Anastasia the whole time because like towards the end I heard like this song that I really liked and like I'm kind of regretting it, but like I went and left them alone because like a girl's got to like dance, you know. But Anastasia seemed like really off afterwards, and like I know she has a key to get into like Huntington's room and stuff, so I don't know if she like I don't know. I just thought that that would be relevant that she has pretty much full access to everywhere in the house.
Mm-hmm. And then, when you left, sorry, I'm just jogging my memory really quick. Did you leave through the back door through the kitchen, or did you
I
go
was
out the front
blackout
door?
drunk. I don't remember.
You're sure you don't remember anything?
No.
I see.
This
Well, in
wine
that
really
case,
gets to me.
I understand. In that case, Miss Jones, I believe that's all the questions that we have for you right now. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, just make sure to be careful with that Anastasia. I love her to death, but like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. I thought Anastasia was a red flag, but I think Amberlynn Jones takes the cake. Not only did Anastasia throw shade at Miss Jones, but now Miss Jones is also telling me to watch out for Anastasia. It's a little weird. And not to mention, she remembers everything up until the point until she's ready to leave, and then leaves out the same back door that the key was at. Something's not quite adding up here, and I'm not quite getting it yet, but let's see what you guys think. And I agree, definitely untrustworthy here. I'm going to keep a close eye on that one. We'll see exactly what all happens. And if we can please bring in our next suspect, Mr. Thomas Steele.
Hello, Detective. Do you know how long this is going to be? I have a very important press conference that I'm really in a rush to get to.
Just a few minutes, Mr. Steele. It won't take long at all. Now, we've overheard that you actually offered to build a factory on some old property of Mr. Huntington's. Do you mind explaining what exactly happened there?
Well, most of my business, it's very confidential. I don't really want any competitors trying to get this out here. So I need to be 100% sure that this is confidential.
It's a police investigation. Nothing will be leaked to any viewers of any kind.
Okay. I was planning on buying this really old opera house. Huntington told me that it was very run down and old and wasn't making that much money, so we wanted to sell it. And I figured it would be the perfect prime real estate for me to build this brand new factory for my company. Steele, 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 Steele.
I see. And now, when exactly did you announce this to Mr. Huntington?
You see, me and Huntington had this been in the works for a few months now, I'd say. But then, so I was going over to his house last week, and I went to go finalize it. And I walked in and I stumbled upon this, I guess, family breakfast. I don't really know. My family doesn't do any of that stuff, so I wouldn't really know. But I walked in and I was like, I got the documents all ready for you to sign. And then his wife looked furious when I mentioned an opera house.
Mm-hmm. And would you happen to chance know Miss Amberlynn Jones at all?
I believe I've heard about her a few times. I mean, I'm not really an opera type of person, but Huntington swore on her name. She was like, she's the best opera singer there is, and that she should come to one of my campaign rallies. I mean, I guess it must have worked because I'm mayor now.
I understand. And then, did you happen to go to the party later that night?
Yes, I did. It was a party. I mean, it wasn't that interesting on my half, at least, but it was okay.
And now, did you happen to notice anything going on that was a little suspicious or weird?
I don't know if you would call this suspicious, but that Rex Huntington, his brother, he was flat out drunk and he was making such a mess. He walked up to me and he tried to get mad at me for trying to buy the opera house. He said I loved how he loved it and how I was taking away the last thing he loved. I'm not supposed to be the one in the blame here. I didn't know that nobody else wanted to buy it.
I understand. And then by chance, did you happen to run into either Miss Huntington or Miss Amberlynn Jones at the party?
I mean, I think at the beginning of the party, I kind of ran in and met the whole family and talked to them. But other than that, they were kind of off doing their own thing. I was just trying to, mingle with guests, do my mayoral duties. I do believe I believe Miss Amberlynn, she kind of like slipped away after what she was like, oh my gosh, I love this song. And then she just disappeared.
Hmm. I understand. In that case, Mr. Steele, is there anything else that I should really know about? Anything that went on at the party that just seemed a little weird?
Nothing really. Both of his sons were not doing much the whole time. But I do have one quick question for you. Does my hair look fine? You see, I'm really trying to get used to this whole mayoral thing. I just want to look presentable for this press conference.
No, I think you're good. I mean, I personally use a fancy hairspray called water, and I just kind of like run it through there a little bit. But I mean, you could try some if you want. But other than that, I think you look good.
So I tried that, and this whole nobody told me how hard being mayor would be. My father said I win, and it's handed to me. But this is such a hard job. Like nobody understands how hard it is to be me. My life is so tough.
I totally understand. Very tough of you to sit in an office all day. By any chance, I think that's all the questions we have for you today. Thanks very much for your time, Mr. Mayor.
Of course.
Alrighty, detectives at home. What do we think about Mr. Steele? I mean, he might be a little full of himself, but is buying a factory or buying the property to build a factory really a crime here? I don't think so, but I guess we'll leave it up to you guys on what exactly we think about him. And our poll results just came back and fairly trustworthy. I'd say so as well. Again, it's just he doesn't really seem to have a whole lot going against him right here. In any chance, those were all 6 of our suspects, and now we're bringing out our final poll for you guys to decide who exactly you think the murderer or murderers are. To be honest, I believe our biggest suspects right now would have to fall down to either Rex Huntington, his son Robert, Anastasia, or Amberlynn. Both Marco and Steele are in the running, but to be honest, I feel that Steele's fairly innocent here. Rex seems very passionate about what's all going on, but guess we'll only find out with what you guys think. Wow. And our polls came back an even split for Miss Anastasia Huntington and Miss Amberlynn Jones. Alrighty. In that case, Miss Anastasia Huntington and Amberlynn Jones, please come back here.
Hello.
So, according to our detectives at home, you two have been filed and are going to be put under arrest for the murder of Mr. Huntington.
It was honest. I had nothing to do with it.
Don't say you had nothing to do with it.
I had nothing to do with it. You're the one that convinced me.
Amber, we discussed.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Would you two please quickly explain exactly how and why you did that?
She was just so angry that she would have lost her opera house. I know she loved it a ton, but she came to me later that day after she found out that Huntington was trying to sell it, and she's just we have to do something. And then you dragged me into this mess.
You were just as upset as I was, Amber.
I don't think I was nearly as upset.
That's enough out of both of you. Let's get on out of here, please.
It'll be fine. I'll pay for bail for both of us.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'll treat you. Drink some of me next time.
Oh, of course.
We don't offer bail on murder confessions.
Sure.
Either way, please step into the squad car, please. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Can I bring my maid?
No.
She can't
our
bring the
detectives
maid.
at home,
I can't bring my maid.
Miss Huntington and Miss Jones, you are under arrest.
She took
Please
part of
go.
the maid helped us. The maid helped us?
No. Please leave.
Fine.
Well, detectives at home, it seems that we've done it again. If you want to find out exactly more on how and why they did the murder, outside of all the yelling and that they did, please make sure to check out our Instagram post later today or tomorrow about how and why our murderers exactly did commit their murder against Mr. Huntington. In any case, that'll be all for me tonight, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, you incredible detectives at home. Looks like you caught the murderers, and we couldn't be more happy about that. Let's bring back the entire cast so that we can do a round of applause and some bows. Come on back, cast members. All right, cast, give us a bow. Audience members, please show your love in the comments, and thank you so much for coming. As Detective Bosch said, please check out our Instagram page this weekend, where we're definitely going to give you the clues and the ways that we did all of this terrible murder from the earlier performance, the 7 o'clock and the 8:30. Thank you all very much for coming. This is the time I would usually say drive safely, but more exit the Zoom safely. Have a great evening, and thanks again. We keep waving if we want. Oh, thanks for putting in the chat, Nora, that what our Instagram page is. You're so smart. Thank you so much. Thank you to the attendees who came to the earlier performance as well. Hooray for Dan Cortez.